Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Capital Area School Development Association Virtual College Fair. We are very excited to have you participating in this event with us. We have some fantastic schools here with us today to talk with you. My name is Clarissa, and I'll be facilitating this event today. Before we get started, there are a few housekeeping items to take note of. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You also have a Q&A button on your screen, which you can use to ask questions to our presenters at any time. If you do have a question for a specific school, be sure to mention them within your question. This is also just one of many sessions happening this evening and over the next few days, so definitely feel free to go out to the schedule and see what else might be available. And lastly, this presentation is being recorded and will be available at stripescan.com/CASDANY. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first school, which is IE University.
Thanks so much, Clarissa, and hi, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and hopefully in just a moment you'll be able to see it. So all right, sorry, I think you should see it. Okay, great. Sorry, my computer is lagging, so I just wanted to make sure. So very nice to meet you all. My name is Cora Morris, and I'm the senior manager for IE University. I'm actually based out of our office in New York City. We have 30 international offices worldwide. If you're not familiar with IE University, this is IE at a glance. So we are an international European university located in Madrid and Segovia, Spain. We're medium-sized, private nonprofit university. All of our programs are taught in English. So if you already know Spanish, great, you'll have the chance to practice it, but it's not something that's required to study at IE. And we have 75% of our students are international, coming from more than 120 different nationalities. We have over 4,000 undergraduate students, 55% are women, 45% are men, and our majors are career focused, and we have a very experiential learning approach. We're well known for things like entrepreneurship and innovation and using new technologies inside of our classrooms. We don't have general education requirements, actually, so students apply directly to their major of study, and they would start off in courses related to their major from the first year. All of our programs are accredited, so of course students can, after they graduate, go on to start their careers in their home countries, or they can go on to complete a master's degree. And 95% of our job-seeking graduates are employed within 6 months of graduation. Usually we have smaller class sizes, and then students are broken down into smaller groups within those class sizes. The largest class is usually around 55, 60 students, and that would be in our Bachelor of Business Administration. And our tuition range is $25,000 a year for a single degree and $27,000 a year for a dual degree. This is kind of the euro to dollar conversion, and this is before anything like scholarships. We have over 21 different ones available. Next, I'll share a little bit more about our two campuses. So we have a campus in Madrid. We actually just opened up our new campus, which is a 35-story tower. If you've ever been to Madrid, or if you're familiar with Spain, you'll probably know that Madrid is the capital city of Spain. It's located in the center of the country. And our campus here is an urban campus in the business district. And like I mentioned, we just opened the campus actually for staff this summer, and then students started entering in this September. And we had the grand inauguration actually today, so quite fitting. The tower is broken into hubs, pods, and different community zones. On our website, we have videos and more explanations of all of the other spaces, so I won't go into that now, but I can also share a few photos here of the inside of the classroom and some of the views that you would get within the tower. And Madrid is also a beautiful city to explore. You have a lot of great access to visiting other countries or different parts of Spain. I myself lived in Madrid for 6 years, so I might be a little bit biased, but it was the best time I ever had of my life. And then in contrast, our Segovia campus, this is more of our historic, smaller knit campus. So Segovia is a small town that's close to Madrid. And our campus is a UNESCO protected World Heritage Site, actually from the 13th century. This is an overview here. And of course, the inside of the campus is also beautiful, but still updated so that students will have access to different facilities there. We have our communications labs, our things like 3D printers for architecture and design students. And Segovia itself is really a fairy tale. You have here the Roman aqueducts and also the castle where the King and Queen of Spain used to live. Next, I'll share a little bit more about our studies. So all of our programs are recognized and accredited by the Spanish Ministry of Education, as I was mentioning before. And this is our list of our bachelors. Our bachelors, like I said, are very experiential focused. These are 4-year programs starting in September, and depending on the bachelor, students can decide whether they want to start off in Segovia and then move to Madrid, or to do all of their studies in Madrid. And then these are our dual degree options where students can combine 2 different programs within 5 years to receive 2 degrees. So I won't go into all of them, but I'm happy to share more information with students who might be interested. And then for our pre-college activities, definitely if you're a senior, check out our challenges and competitions that we have happening right now. For the admissions process, we have a holistic approach and we look at all aspects of the student's profile. We have 5 stages to the admissions process, and we're looking for different things like the online application with transcripts, resume, a letter of recommendation, for example. We are on the Common App and everything right now is 100% online. So if you are applying to other schools on the Common App, you can just apply to us there. We also require some sort of admissions test. However, students can take our admissions test instead of the ACT or SAT. It is more of an aptitude test, so you don't need any prior preparation and it's free of charge to take the test. So I'd be happy to go more into all of these different areas of the application process if anyone has any questions. But I just wanted to also mention we have different activities throughout the year, such as our admissions days. Our first admissions day is happening for this season on November 13th. And if you're interested, I'd love to share the information with you to join. So I know I'm running a bit out of time, so I will kind of skip forward here. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to end with my contact info here. And thanks so much for listening.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Up next, we have University of British Columbia.
All right, thank you. All right, let me start out here by saying my name's Chris. I'm actually based in New York. I'm the University of British Columbia's regional representative here in the US, and my pronouns are he, him. Now, before I even get started telling you about all the opportunities at UBC, I first want to respectfully acknowledge the traditions and customs of the Syilx Okanagan people in whose territory UBC's Okanagan campus is situated. And I'd like to acknowledge that UBC's Vancouver campus is situated on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. So now if we think about what is it that attracts students to UBC, and there's this unique balance you'll find of academic excellence, ideal locations, and active learning opportunities. And I think these are things you should be looking for in any institution you're interested in, making sure they're a good academic, geographical, and cultural fit in terms of what's available. So if we start out talking about academic excellence, I think this is the toughest one to talk about because we tend to want to use statistics or rankings and just put numbers to things. And we all know we don't make decisions based entirely on rankings. However, if we entertain for a notion just the fact that there are over 25,000 universities in the world and UBC is among the top 40 with top 20 departments around the world, I think that's pretty impressive. It tells you a little bit of a story. But there are other numbers that I think are more interesting. For instance, we're considered a world leader in combating climate change, in sustainability. We're also considered the most international university in North America with over 18,000 international students from 166 countries. So this multicultural diversity and that obsession with sustainability are just part of our DNA. They're who we are at UBC. So these are high level numbers, but if we want to talk a little more tangibly about where we'll be, we should move into location because you want to make sure you'll be happy where you live for 4 or 5 years. Now, before I even talk about UBC, I'm just going to talk about Canada for a second because Canada is considered the #1 country in the world for quality of life. It really prioritizes healthcare, both physical and mental. It's a very welcoming and inclusive country, and we invest more in our universities than almost any other country in the world, meaning the quality goes way up while the cost comes down. And if you're not a Canadian citizen and you go to a Canadian university, you got a 3-year work permit. So you can stay in the country, use those connections you've made, those resources you've had access to really start your career. Now, at UBC, we have 2 campuses. One's in the city of Vancouver and the other's in the Okanagan Valley. Now, these are very different experiences. The degree's the same, the areas of study are pretty much the same. It's more about finding the right fit for you. So our Okanagan campus is a campus of 10,500 undergraduate students. So it's mid-size. This is in a city of 200,000 people. Our Vancouver campus has 46,000 undergrads. So it's a big campus in a city of 2.5 million people. So 2 very different sizes there of city and campus. Now, Whichever campus you choose, you will have access to all of the active learning opportunities we really encourage students to take part in at UBC. We're very big fans of hands-on learning. So one of these ways could be research at the undergraduate level. You don't have to be a master's or PhD student to get involved in research. You don't even have to do research in the area you're majoring in, because we have over $500 million in research funding every year. We have thousands of projects every year. Or maybe you're interested in work experience. And I specifically am a fan of co-op. If you're not familiar with co-op, that's where you alternate a semester of study with a semester of work. So you don't have to juggle too much at any one time. You do one or the other. Now, all co-op positions are paid. They're relevant to what you're studying. They're mentored by someone in the field. So you get real life work experience and make connections. So much so that 90% of our co-op students get a job offer within a month of graduating. And we have thousands of students on co-op every year in all kinds of majors. And if this is all very intense, I'm telling you about research and work, and you just want to have fun, that's good too, because having fun is an important part of university life. So we are very big on sports. We have more varsity titles than anyone else in Canada. We also have the largest intramural sports program in Canada. So any kind of sport, any level of competition, we've pretty much got you covered. And if you're not necessarily athletically inclined, we do have hundreds of student-run clubs, whether they're cultural, social justice-oriented, academic, or just fun ones like the Ski and Snowboard Club or the Lego Makers Club. Whatever your interests are, this is a great way to form communities that help make a large experience feel a little bit smaller. And then if going to Canada isn't international enough for you, we do have over 200 study abroad partners in about 45 different countries. So you can definitely work abroad, study abroad, do research abroad, just really broaden your horizons that way. So at this point, I think it's fair to say we've touched on the academic excellence at an institution that has over 260 majors, ideal locations with two very different fits, and then active learning opportunities that you can find exactly the activities that you want to take part in. So hopefully this helps you find the right fit. And this all comes with a friendly Canadian price tag. Now, I don't have to tell you, you know how to find us online, you know how to use social media and all that. So I will just say thank you very much for your time. And I hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you very much for your presentation. As a reminder to our participants, if anyone has any questions for the institutions you are hearing from today, definitely don't hesitate to put those in the Q&A down below. Up next, we have American College Dublin.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Healy, and I am the admissions representative for the American College Dublin, located in the heart of Dublin, Ireland. So I love to start off my presentation with this photo because I think it gives a really great representation of the city as a whole. As you can see, there's plenty going on, lots of stores, restaurants, bars, stores, and a lot of just like different things to discover. It's a really great city, and I think it has a great balance of what you can see here, like busyness and that kind of metropolitan feel, also that smaller, intimate feel with like that sense of community. And then if you bring your viewpoint to the back of the photo, you will see St. Anne's Church, and that is where we hold our formal graduation ceremonies. So there's something for you all to look forward to a little further down the road. So first off, we are an Irish American university, which means that we are accredited in both Ireland and the US. And this just means a few things for our student. One is that your degree just carries a bit further post-grad. And two, it gives you an option as a student to pick the path that makes the most sense for you as a learner. So through the Irish accreditation, it will be a 3-year track. You will apply directly to your degree and you will not take any other courses besides those under your degree. So say you apply to the creative writing program, you won't take any business classes. And then if you take a course under the US accreditation, it will be that more standard 4-year track with classes under your degree, and then also some electives and gen ed courses. So it's just whatever you prefer and you think makes sense for you. So we are a very small school. But because of this, we are able to offer very small and interactive lectures. Our classes are typically less than 20 students. I would say even smaller than that normally. But this really allows for the classroom to be an interactive experience. So it's not just a professor lecturing at you. There's a lot of breakout groups where you can share your perspectives with your peers and really have your own opinion and perspective contribute to the lesson that's being taught in the classroom. The teachers also try to incorporate a lot of different forms of media into the lesson plan. So it definitely doesn't get boring and it makes it fun and exciting to go to class each day. So Dublin is your campus and we really encourage our students to take advantage of it. We really think it is an extension of the classroom. We want you to be able to learn about things in the classroom and then see them in real life out in the city and really have that aha moment, to bring that idea full circle. As I mentioned before, Dublin is a really great city and the people are extremely friendly. It is an English speaking city as well. And we are located in the heart of Dublin, right in the middle of all the hustle and bustle. We're about a 30-second walk from the National Museum. And there's just plenty to do. And then thinking post-grad, a lot of big companies have headquarters and offices in Dublin, including Google, Apple, LinkedIn, things along those lines. So there's a lot of great career opportunities for you post-graduation. So like our school and the size of our classes, our administration is also small and we operate under an open door policy. So all of our students are encouraged to drop by and get to know the staff. We are small by design, and that is so we can help our students in any way possible. And for that to happen, we really need you to stop by and let us know what's going on so we can help you reach your fullest potential at the American College Dublin. So these are the courses that we offer. That 3-year track I was talking about in international business and liberal arts, and then the 4-year BA in international business, hospitality management, event management, and liberal arts. And then we also do a 4-year BFA in musical theater, performance, and creative writing. So though we are small, we really have a diverse applicant pool and we do admit people from every corner of the globe. And because of this, our requirements are aimed at gathering more of a holistic view of the applicant. We really want to get to know who you are. So because of this, a minimum 2.0 GPA, and then for any transfer students, a resume or CV, and then a personal statement that describes why you would like to study your chosen area at ACD. So this is your opportunity to really paint a vibrant picture of yourself for the admissions team to read. As I mentioned before, we really want to get to know you, and this is your opportunity as an applicant to do so. We have been test optional forever, and we will continue to be so. So, the resume, the test scores, any awards, publications, they're all optional if you want to include them. If you think they better round out the greater picture of you as a person and a student, you can feel free to include them, but again, not necessary. Our tuition and fees for non-European students is €9,000. The last time I checked, that was about $10,400. And then the BFA is just 500 more because of different locations of classes take part in different materials and such. You can apply directly on our website, and I will drop that in the chat below. And we do operate under rolling admission. So as you apply, we will get you a decision in about 2 weeks. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your presentation. Up next, we have University of Essex.
Perfect, thank you. Hopefully you can see my screen. Hi everyone, my name is Emma and I work in the recruitment team at the University of Essex, which is based in England. So I'm just going to start off by going over some of the sort of key reasons that students from the US are drawn to study in England. First up, our degrees are 3 years in length. So the reason for that is there is no general ed. And when I'm talking to students from the US and I'm sort of describing the differences between the UK higher education system sort of compared to the US, I always suggest that England is a really good fit for those students that know what it is that they want to major in, because you choose that subject, or you choose your major at the point of application, and you study that subject from the very beginning, of your course. And that's the reason our degrees are 3 years in length. Tuition is competitive as well. So typically you would be looking at paying around $20,000 to $30,000 per academic year. It is going to vary from institution and sort of course to course, but yeah, that's sort of an idea of what you could expect to pay. Lots of our universities will offer some really competitive scholarships, and lots of us are FAFSA accredited as well. If you are applying to the UK, then it's more than likely you will be using our online application portal, which is called UCAS, which very crudely speaking is sort of like our equivalent to the Common App. The student route visa will allow you to work on or off campus for up to 20 hours a week. So it's a good way to sort of earn some money if you are studying in the UK. And our internships are often paid as well. And if you do decide that you're having a great time studying in the UK and you want to stay, then with our new 2-year, our new post-study work visa, then you can stay in the UK for 2 years once you've graduated and look for work. So the next sort of lot of information is about the University of Essex and why students in the US love Essex. So we've got 3 campuses located in Colchester, Southend and Loughton. Colchester is the largest of our 3 campuses where most of our students study. It sits on 200 acres of beautiful award-winning parkland. We're less than an hour by train to London, which in my opinion is the perfect distance, close enough if you want to get into the city, but you really notice a difference in London living costs. Colchester is the UK's oldest recorded town and the first recorded capital city in the UK. We're not really known for our glorious weather in the UK, but in Essex we do have some of the UK's best weather. And something I love about our location, where you can see sort of where we are located there on the map in the southeast of the UK, is that we're close to the coast, we're close to the city, and we're surrounded by some lovely towns, beautiful villages, and the lovely Essex countryside as well. So the University of Essex is a dual intensive university, which means we place as much importance on our research as we do our teaching, and we're recognised for the quality of our teaching. We're a university that's really well known for our social sciences, so in particular subjects like politics, international relations, sociology, criminology, economics and human rights. These are subjects that we're consistently well ranked for. We also have a really interdisciplinary approach to our teaching, which means that students can pick different classes, different modules across different departments and across different faculties to really shape their degree around their interests and what's important to them. So a little bit about student life at Essex. We've got over 160 sports clubs and societies, so there's definitely something for everyone. Our Colchester campus, which as I said is the largest, is a really large, vibrant, welcoming and international community with lots and lots of facilities that students can enjoy, including a theatre, a cinema. There's a brand new sports arena as well with some amazing facilities, including basketball and volleyball facilities. There's a climbing wall, squash courts, tennis courts, football pitches. So there's definitely, if you do enjoy sport, then there's definitely lots for you to enjoy. And lots of restaurants, bars, cafes as well, so hospitality outlets for students to enjoy. We guarantee on-campus accommodations, so typically students will live on campus for their first year, take advantage of all the facilities that are available to them, and then typically students will move off campus in their second and final year. We're recognised for the fact that we're spending money on our campuses as well, so we're ranked 7th for spend, so we're pumping money back into our campuses for students to enjoy. I mentioned it's really cost effective, the fact that our degrees are 3 years in length, so that's 1 whole year that you wouldn't have to pay for your fees. At Essex, our fees for this academic year are just under 17 to just under £20,000. So in dollars, that's somewhere sort of between $21,000 to $25,000 per academic year. We also have some really generous scholarships, including our Americas Regional Scholarship, which is worth £5,000, a number of sports scholarships for super talented athletes, and our IB Excellence Scholarship too. And we're also FAFSA accredited. So we place a lot of importance on employability at Essex. We understand that students ultimately one of the key reasons that students go to university is to get the job that they really want, that pays well. We have placement year opportunities. Lots of our courses offer placement year opportunities, which is fantastic for career orientated individuals. 91% of our undergraduate students are in employment or further study within 6 months of graduating. We have skills for success teams as well that help students with things like CV workshops, interview techniques, and there are networking and career events on campus too. And we also offer some great initiatives, including learning a language and a data science for all program. These are both sort of examples of initiatives that are completely for free. Students can study these alongside their degree, and it looks great on your CV. And my favourite thing about Essex, hopefully I've got a couple of seconds just to tell you just how international the university is. We're ranked 4th in the UK for International Outlook, over 140 nationalities represented in Colchester, and that's almost 40% of our students that are from outside the UK. So you would study, live, work, hopefully make lifelong friends with people that are from all over the world. So I'll put my contact details in the chat, and if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Our final institution for this session is Suny Morrisville.
Alrighty. Bear with me, I just gotta get the presentation up. So I'm Michaela from Suny Morrisville. Oh goodness, sorry, let's not start at the end of the presentation. So this is a quick presentation about why Morrisville. So Morrisville is located in central New York. We're in a great location. We're about 3.5 hours from Buffalo, 3.5 hours from downstate. So it's just one of those locations where you can kind of get anywhere in the state. We do have another campus called Norwich Campus, but it's used mainly for students of Chenango County. So unless you live there, there's no reason to really be a part of that campus. As of right now, our enrollment is about 2,600 students. Sometimes it ranges between that and 3,000 students, depending on each year. We have over 55 programs to choose from, and with only having about 3,000 students max each year, we have a student to faculty ratio of about 15:1. We have NCAA Division III athletics, as well as clubs and organizations. I believe there's more than 40. I think we're almost up to like 50 plus organizations. So Suny Morrisville, like I said, we have about 55 programs to choose from. We're a school with associates and bachelor's degrees. Our field of study is very specific and niche oriented. So we have things like agriculture with equine science, horticulture, things like environmental conservation and renewable energy. So if you're looking to work for solar panels and windmills and different things like that, we have a lot to choose from. These are the most important things that we think are a part of our campus: applied learning, expert faculty, and the experience you're going to get. So what does applied learning mean? It means putting practice to theory or theory to practice. It's a very hands-on school. So as you can see here, these are classes that are going on where students are actually getting to do the work. So even if you're in a business course, I tell people you're going to have the opportunity to do simulations and do projects where you're actually doing hands-on work and not just sitting in a classroom learning. So with this, we also have an internship required for most bachelor degrees on Morrisville. So there's a 15-credit internship that you have to take, and it's usually during a spring semester of your final year, and you can choose where you want to work. Majority of our faculty have worked in the industry as well as still work in the industry. So you're going to get experienced people who know what they're talking about. A lot of them are up to date on what's going on in each industry as we go through so many changes technology-wise and everything. The professors are really great to get to know. They love their students, and it's more of a really personal experience where you're going to get to talk to your professors and ask questions, and they're going to be at your needs, not just, for teaching, but actually being there for you. And then this kind of goes along with the hands-on. So it's a very real world experience kind of school. We want you to get into classes where you're doing things that they're doing in the industry. So our automotive students are in the garage working on cars with the same machines that a garage right down the road would be using. It's really great. There's a lot of alumni part of our school that come in and hire right out of college, which is really important to have because there's a lot of jobs out there that are hard to get unless you have that connection. So Morrisville has great connections to different people. We're working on adding to our school. So right now there's a whole project going on where we're trying to revamp the whole school. We just had our entire academic quad redone. The picture below that you can see right here is actually a new building that is on campus. It's a renewable energy and diesel tech building. These are also some programs that we're hoping to have started in the next few years. I know the master's program is at the top of the list. We don't have any masters as of right now, but we're hoping to get some. So for campus life, majority of our students do live on campus. We are in rural New York, so there are not a lot of cities around or anything like that. So there are housing options off of campus, but the housing options on campus are very nice. We have great facilities to choose from. About athletics, we have D3, like I said. Our football team and hockey team are really great on men's, and we have women's hockey as well. The basketball teams always seem to do a really great job as well. So there are tons of different sports to choose from. And if you don't want to go for D3 and you still want to play a sport, we have plenty of intramural sports to choose from that are always having a great time as well. Because our campus, again, is in rural New York, we are constantly trying to do things for the campus. There's always activities. The clubs are really cool. We have different clubs. We have student organizations that include everybody. We have a very large, diverse population on campus because of where we get students to apply from. So we have students from different states. We have a very small international group that go to Morrisville, but it's not huge. But we have students from everywhere. There are constantly things to do like comedians, movies, clubs that you can join. And overall, it's just a really awesome place to be. I'm actually a graduated alumni from Suny Morrisville, and I can say as a personal experience, I loved being there and made some great friends, and it created a great future for me. So that's it. This is some information that there's the website that you can check out. And from there, if you want to get a hold of me, I'll make sure to put my information in the chat. So thank you.
Thank you everyone for those lovely presentations. We do still have some time in our programming, so I'm going to have our representatives answer a few questions for us. So let us get started. So that first question is going to be, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we will go in presentation order. So we will start with IE University.
Okay, this is a great question. I think probably the biggest advice I give students is to communicate with their local representative of the university. Definitely keep in contact with us. Don't be afraid to ask us questions because that's what we're here for, to help support students. And we get questions every day, so no question is too stupid. Of course, it's always great if you can do your research online and everything first, but we talk to students all the time. So if you're not able to find something, just let us know.
I'd say just really think about who you are and what you're interested in, because there's no shortage of people telling you what they do, saying your family went to this school, you should do that, or your friends are going to this school. I say really just think about yourself and think outside the box and really figure out what the best fit is for you, because this is a choice you're probably only going to make once.
University of Essex.
Sorry about that. My advice would be to speak to current students. They're the best, in my opinion, they're the best people to speak to. Obviously, we love speaking to you as well. We can offer lots of great advice and point you in the right direction. But I do think that speaking to current students that are studying at the universities that you're interested in, particularly the courses that you might be interested in, can really give you first-hand experience of what it's like to study at that university at that time. So my advice would be to definitely speak to us, but speak to current students if you can as well.
In Suny Morrisville.
So I think my advice would be to not let it stress you. I think one of the most important things is just keep in mind that you're just thinking about your future. And yes, that's terrifying, but you have your whole life to look forward to, and choosing a college at the end of the day is just something that you have to do to make you happy and to make sure that you're doing what you want to do in life.
Thank you everyone for those great pieces of advice. We do have a few more moments, so I'm going to move on to question 2, which is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? And I'll turn it over to IE University.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is a great question. I think that probably the one thing I would want students to know about and to kind of take away is just that, you know, we are, although we're in Spain, we're very diverse and international. We have students from all around the world, and they would be able to be in the classroom and to make friends with students from all over the globe. That's something that has really helped also in the future down the line, with not only kind of like building their professional and personal contacts, but also bringing in all of those new perspectives and ideas and expanding their mindset and becoming an entrepreneurial thinker. That would be the one thing.
Yeah, for UBC, I'd say that although we are, you know, this top 40 institution with all these resources available to you, remember that there are 2 very different feelings toward campuses. It's even different weather across both campuses. So really know that there are 2 very different places where ideally you'll be able to find the right fit for you in one of those.
I would say probably just how international the university is. And just the fact that it's an amazing opportunity to really sort of meet people from all over the world, and just how diverse our campuses are. But I think that what students might say is really memorable about our university is the fact that we have our own cat called Campus Cat. He even has his own social media, so he has his own Facebook and Instagram accounts, and you can buy his merchandise from our stores, which are located on campus as well. So I think students might say that that's one of the most memorable things as well, our Campus Cat.
All right. So I think the most important thing to remember for Morrisville is, again, hands-on school. You're going to be doing everything out of the classroom. You're very rarely going to be sitting through an hour-long lecture where you're just being told notes after notes. It's very involved, and if that's the kind of thing you want to do in life and you're a hands-on learner, I think it's really important to know about a school like us, because there's a lot of schools out there that have it as well, but there's also few and far to come by that are just, you know, doing more with hands-on than less. So that's what I would say is the most important.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We would appreciate any feedback you can provide to us. And we do encourage you to go back and check the schedule. There are a few more hours up next, and over the next 2 days, there are sessions as well. So there might be some more things you are interested in. And as I mentioned earlier, the session was recorded and will be available with all the other recordings at stripescan.com/CASDANY. Again, thank you for joining us and have a great evening.